People. Say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. This is not your average mama and papa news channel. This is news with a buzz. First thing that is popping in the news, it is called MURDER at an intersection, another one. I am speaking about a young man. He is said to be an upholsterer. He is from Water Street in Kingston. However, the other day, at the intersection of Spanish Town Road and Weymouth Drive, a man, Kennedy Adamson, he was very unfortunate. Based on the information, he was driving in his car just another day when that car was approached by two men on bike, a red and black bike, based on what the popo said. It is said that the two men wheel and pop off, blaze up some can in the direction of Mr. Adamson, hitting him several times in the head, in the upper body, upper torso. He tried to avoid, however, it seems as if the damage had already been done. Him drive about 300 meters down the street, bump up in some sorts of bin, garbage bin, another wasted life. Now people, like me say, don't know if this man did something. However, this is obvious that this was not any sort of random acts of MURDER. The people obviously knew who they were going for. The people get some sorts of news, spot a lie and call them and say, you know, say, my little man there, him a go yasso and him a leave. So therefore, just lay await him. So I guess the plan was to, when he stop his heartbeat. Make sure that he did not live to tell the tale. And people, they knew, based on the amount of con that he got, it was going to be detrimental, bad for his health. So therefore, they hit him up in some vital places and allow him to get that last twitch reaction. However, them know say him never did go make it. Like me say, another one bites the dust. Now people, as it pertains to this man, his name is Gaza. Now, we've heard a whole bunch of things circulating all over social media in the news in a real life, with a person or some people who name Gaza. And usually it does not end too good, because that name is kind of hot right now. The name Gaza a call up in a Portmore. The name Gaza a call up in a Cockburn pen. So therefore, maybe this might be some sorts of mistaken identity. However, people, I doubt it very much. It just seems as if that name Gaza is kind of jinx right now for 2022. So therefore, if you're a young man and you have that name, maybe you might want to reconsider having that title to your name, because it might be detrimental to your health. Point blank and period. Now people, here's the thing. We've realized that this is a very disturbing trend in Jamaica. Most people are, whenever them stop at the stoplight, and who are usually the assailants? Men on bike. And why they always use bikes? It is because it is the quick getaway. Even in a traffic, there is no sort of hindrance. Them just hit you up, dilly-dally, and them gone about them business, while your family is left to pick up the pieces and send you off to the final send-off. Point blank and period. So people, the moral of the story is this. Jamaica is a very small place. Be very careful the type of people that you hang out with. be very careful what your friends are doing, because it could come back and lead to you. If them can't catch Kwaku, them are going to catch him short. And based on how people are acting right now, even when them catch Kwaku, they are trying to wipe out everybody. The shirt, the pants, the shoes, the lace. Everything I go down in a hole. Total wipe out, as if it is some sorts of surfing. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that our Prime Minister, well, your Prime Minister, he had a news conference and he revealed some very serious thing. He said that under the last state of emergency that ended midnight Sunday last night, they detained 300 persons. However, there are still, out of that 300, 50 people who they deem to be masterminds, violence producers, who are causing all sorts of chaos and catastrophe, and have the power to make the MVRD3R rate rise up in the festive Yuletide season. Those persons are still locked up. However, we know that there was a vote with Senate and they needed a 2/3 majority. Out of 21 votes, they needed 14. However, it came up short. JLP voted 13 and the PNP 8. So 8 and 13 are 21. They needed 14. It dropped short, fell short by 1. However, we see all sorts of conflicts since that, because the JLP, Andrew Holness, him a claim say is a political thing. PNP are getting them feeling because them want to get all sorts of traction. However, there is nothing to gain, because the truth and the fact is that most persons, including the private sector organization of Jamaica, they said that the state of emergency is a good thing. However, they needed 2/3 majority and it fell short. So therefore, that is not going to happen. However, based on information from your Prime Minister, he said that maybe by January again, or even before that, I think that they have power, some sorts of loophole that they can use to hold these persons, especially the people that they deem to be people that have the willingness and power to make the MVRD3R rate, the 50 people still locked up. However, the next thing that he spoke about, he said that they're also working on the Corrections Act, meaning people that lock up in the penal system. He spoke about a couple of videos that you and I have seen all over social media, a whole lot of them, with these men in a the big yard, in a Clarks, in a Prada, in a Gucci, in a Ferlucci, in a Jardash jeans, a sip on Scissor, a sip on Hennessy. It is as if these men are still on the street. The people even have more cash than most Jamaicans. I saw at least a couple of videos with people with all sorts of wads of cash. Look like them are trapped in the big yard. However, your Prime Minister said that those days are coming to an end. Him now want to see no man a pose off for the gram in any sorts of designer clothes. When this new Correction Act comes into effect, implemented, a strictly prison stripes, strictly orange, black and white, like how prisoners are supposed to look, there is no way that you're supposed to be locked up, doing time for some sorts of crime and living just like in the outer street, minus a little pums here and there. So pretty much you must say, they are being facilitated by corruption, meaning the CO correctional officers. They might take bribery to keep up the FUCKRY. And people, truly so. Now, the opposition leader, Mark Golding, also said that, listen, we are not trying to facilitate or take up for these criminals as it pertains to the zone of special operation. We are willing to work with the JLP. Our decisions need to come together. We should coexist for a better and safer Jamaica. He gave an idea and said, listen, you could go to the Supreme Court with affidavit of these criminals, what they've been doing, their criminal history, and get a pre-charge detention. As it stands right now, some of these men, they were locked up, they were never charged. However, you could go to the court and get it official that they can be charged. They can be detained even without any sorts of charge officially through the court. Some people, like me say, them all on 300. 50 still dead. We know that they are not going to let out these 50. Whatever loophole them can use to go around or buck their own system or law, they are going to do it. They are not going to make Jamaica get worse than it already badder. So people, like me say, them at work, it seems as if they are going to come and work together and make the place safer for the Christmas. Hopefully. So anyways, people, like me say, that is that as it pertains to that. Point blank and period. Thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos straight to the point, no sorts of beating around the bush, show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, whenever you are rising in life, there's always going to be a set of vipers. They see your potential. They realize that your ceiling is in the stratosphere. When they look at themselves because of their insecurity, because of their hate, because they realize that persons appreciate them for something that they pretend to be that they are not, they are going to do everything within their means to bring you down, because that is the only way that they can feel as if they are up. Point blank and period.